Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share the recording with them afterwards and we can post on YouTube. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Okay, we're going to start this Intergovernmental Legislative Relations Committee Thursday, March 20th. It's a little after 5. And we do have a quorum here today. Video isn't working right, but we will share the video or the audio later. At this time, we're going to go to item agenda A, report from state lobbyist, Mr. Park.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, everybody. As I was just talking a little bit offline, we are less than 48 hours to go. The session ends at 12 noon on Saturday. And the feeling is actually very workmanlike, to be honest. The Senate met earlier today. They proceeded through a pretty good pace of bills. The Senate is currently on recess from the floor while the Senate Finance Committee meets, the Senate Tax Committee meets, and right now, they're also waiting for Senate Judiciary to meet. They're going to be hearing the last of the few bills that they've got. The budget has been passed and concurred. Capital outlay has been passed. And the last thing that needs to be worked on is the tax package. There was not a concurrence. The House appointed conferees. The Senate, I assume, will appoint conferees, and that should get worked out tomorrow. The Senate is coming back at 6:30. The House had a few committees meeting this morning, and they didn't really get rolling until 3:30, 4 o'clock today, which is just an hour ago. They are now hearing bills. They've got an unofficial list of bills that they're going to hear. Really nothing terribly controversial. We're just going to have to wait and see. Broad strokes for the city, we've had a really good legislative session. We got a lot of our stuff done in the first half with respect to the competency and the crime package. Two of our big issues after that have seen success. Both ERFPO, the Extreme Risk Firearm Protection Order Act, has been passed. The certain DNA and CODIS has been passed, both chambers, and they will both be enrolled and engrossed and sent up to the governor. Other legislation that we're working on and monitoring regarding racketeering, what was the other one? Embezzlement, thank you, have passed. The legislature has worked on, and I think they're going to potentially pass some revisions to the probation or parole to incentivize good behavior. So we've overall had a very, very successful legislative session. The stuff that we've wanted that was really, really going to hurt us, we've been able to successfully stop or kill altogether. We'll have to wait and see. The capital outlay, I know, is out, and Joe and his team have done an amazing job. But I just want to say, Madam Chair, to you and to all the counselors and all the administration staff and everyone who's been here every day, really great work. I mean, it's been an unusual session in the sense that they tried to front load some of the public safety, behavioral health stuff, and I think it really upended the traditional pace of the session. Given where they're at, there are a couple more controversial bills, not stuff that we're really monitoring, but we may be in a situation where, just like in 2023, both the House and the Senate are done on Friday night at 9:30, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. So they're moving. They're moving in a workmanlike manner, and looks like it seems to. I think that the members of Senate Judiciary just went in, so they'll go back on the Senate floor in about 90 minutes or so. That's my report, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Park. Are there any questions for Mr. Park?
Madam Chair, or just a real quick question. We had, and I'm not a member of the committee, but we had heard a rumor that there might be a special session to address federal grant withdrawals. Have you heard any? Mr. Parks heard anything on that?
Yeah, so thank you. I apologize. I should have mentioned it, and I'm sure Josh was trying to communicate to me because we talked about that this afternoon. So there have been lots of issues and lots of concerns with respect to what's happening in Washington, in particular, with respect to federal funding and Medicaid funding in particular, but I mean the grants and all of that. But the state is so heavily dependent upon federal Medicaid funding that there are real concerns that if the federal government either eliminates or suspends or cuts those programs, that will have a huge impact on our budget. I will tell you, I visited with the chairs of Senate Finance and House Appropriations, and they are very, very attuned to this. They have a pretty significant concern about it. And the governor is significantly enough worried that there is discussion that they may have to come back if the federal government does not fulfill the obligations that they have traditionally fulfilled with respect to those payments. And that if they do not do so, then the state will be having to make some very, very, very difficult decisions. But there's just a lot of uncertainty on that as of right now.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Park? Okay, thanks for that great report. Let's see. We don't have Mr. O'Donnell here, so we're going to skip to item agenda letter C, status of federal community project grants. Mr. Parkinson and Mr. Minicucci. Hello.
You're muted, Tom. Tom, you.
Sorry, Madam Chair. I apologize. I don't know if Mr. Parkinson's here or not. Is he in here, Jack Garrett?
Yeah, I'm here.
I thought he was.
Okay, so Dave, do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Sure, I can start with this. What Tom's showing you right now is an email that Tom and I we had a conversation earlier today. This was how we prioritized our Lujan list last year. And Tom, I don't know if you want to scroll to the newer email I had sent you at about
okay.
3:40. That's where we talked.
That one. Okay, I'll get it up here in a second. On the second, there it is.
And I talked to Lujan's staff today, because as we're all aware, the continuing resolution did not include any earmark funding. So what the delegation is requesting us to do is resubmit the projects that had made it into the subcommittee the committee legislation, and the city had 8 projects that made it in there. There were roughly around $8 million total. So that was for FY25. Now those didn't go anywhere. So we have been getting emails to resubmit those to the delegation members, and those have already, jumped through all the hoops. Congress, they've been deemed eligible and everything. So for FY26, we do not need to prioritize the 8 projects that are being resubmitted from FY25. Those are automatically being moved up to first place in that sense. So what you're looking at, this list is not including those. This is just anything new for FY26. So if that makes sense. And Tom and I had a good talk about how to prioritize this out, and we just thought this time around this is kind of nice and fair. There's just every other, and that's we just wanted to revisit this, and this is kind of how we landed. So
And
Tom?
yes, so Madam Chair, I think there's some. I think the CAO has her hand up, and then I can finish up once if you ask her.
Okay, Madam CAO.
Thank you, Counselor. Thank you, Madam Chair. Just really quickly, so that I make sure that I am understanding and the committee, this is a proposal. My understanding is from the two of you based upon prioritization and kind of like a strategy for how we work together to put forward our proposed projects for Senator Lujan's office to consider for the FY26 list that we put together previously this year. And I just want to make sure that that's what you all are proposing to the committee, is to provide us with a context of alternating in terms of admin versus council priorities in this year's process of submittal to their office.
So Madam Chair, CAO Sengel, I can, right, Dave, I'll speak to that real quickly. Yes, it is. It's every other one. And the issue is that I'd have to back up. Best practice would be, if we had the time, would be for us to bring a joint OC or EC to the council that, the administration's agreed upon to vote on. Unfortunately, we don't have time before the next council meeting. Also, we don't have another, what do you call it? Another IGR meeting scheduled before these are all due at the end of next week. So we're kind of in a situation where we thought the best we could do was that we could recommend every other one. The administration gets position 1, we get 2, administration gets 3, we get 4. That's kind of what we've done every other year, previous years also. And then within the administration, then the administration team could meet and just choose which one they are going to prioritize within their allotted slots. Then for council, the best I can do to get an official body together would be to pull together the 3 IGR members, Councilor Grout, Councilor Pena, Councilor Feeblecorn, and then just present them once we know next week which forms we're going to be submitting to just to show them and have them kind of recommend it. I think that's the closest we can get to being official with the short time frame we have, as when they've had a very short time frame this year as to when they're due, and us not having any formal meeting scheduled or being able to meet public notice adequately to schedule a meeting.
Madam CAO?
Thank you, Counselor. So just to clarify also, we've already taken action on the list of projects. We'd be choosing from those. And I think that's I just want to make sure it's on the record that we already, as a committee, and then also through EC and OCs, have communicated these priorities. So they've already been publicly kind of noticed as our priority projects. Now we're just going to put them in order within that approved list, correct?
Madam Chair, if I can answer that, yes. We have one potential new one from Councilor Baca, and our goal would be, if that's submitted, for the next council meeting to bring an OC for immediate action to list that one.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
So, Madam Chair, so I guess we would ask for the consent of the committee if that's an appropriate plan that the committee agrees with.
Okay. All right. Well, I would, do we need to take a vote? Should we take a vote?
I guess you could. I mean, yeah, I guess so if you want to, since we are kind of making a decision. That would be good.
All right. So we are going to, if I understand it correctly, we're going to meet, you will meet with the 3 IGR committee members to get our order in place. Administration will do the same, and then you and Mr. Parkinson will get together to create that list. And then if there's something that's not on the current list that we've had, we'll bring forth an OC at the next council meeting.
Counselor, I would second that motion.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair, CAO. Okay, all those in favor say yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Opposed? Okay, that was unanimous. Very good. I'm sorry, I'm not in a position for to be on camera this time. Sorry. Any other questions? Okay, any other business?
Madam Chair, if I may, did we want to
Yes.
hold a meeting tomorrow at 5 p.m.?
So it's my understanding that there will be some of our committee members will be at another event. So I think we should cancel tomorrow's meeting. Do we need to meet on Saturday at 10? Will there be any need to meet on Saturday? Madam CAO?
Oh,
Thank you. I was gonna say, we perhaps ask, I don't know, Mr. Park is still on the call, but it would make sense potentially to give us an update, but I don't want to force a meeting if there'd be no available updates.
Okay, so let's just plan for Saturday. Let's cancel tomorrow. We'll plan for Saturday, and we can always send out an email or a text that meeting is canceled on Saturday if not needed.
thank you,
Good.
Madam. Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll send out a calendar invite right away.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, with that, this IGR meeting is closed, or it's over. Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.